What's important about not tracking calories or macros is that we want to understand how our bodies actually feel. We want to understand how when we eat something or we do something or we think something or we choose exercise or a lifestyle change, that those things are actually working for us. And we want to look at those things beyond the scale. When we minimize our experience to just a number, then typically we want to give up on ourselves. When we look at weight and we focus on weight, and we focus on the number, where energy goes, all of that energy grows. So you can imagine if you're focusing on weight and that's going to grow, and then you're going to end up getting stuck and the pounds aren't going to come off and you're going to get stuck on the scale. So what I like to do instead is to bring my energy and my focus to the things that I want to grow in my life. I want my strength to grow. I want my relationships to grow. I want my business to grow. I want my health to stay stable, and I want my mental health to grow. I want my intuition to grow, and I want my finances to grow. All of these things I want to grow. So I'm going to bring my focus and my awareness into the things that I want to grow, and I'm not going to continue to focus on the things that hold me back. I'm not going to focus on the things like the scale that makes me measure my self-worth. I'm not going to focus on whether or not I'm losing weight today. Even that word loss creates an energy of loss and of deprivation instead of in the direction that we want to go, which is in abundance and growth and strength, and that I can do things, not that I'm going to lose things. So I want to welcome you guys today to my podcast, Off the Scale. I am your host, Helen Birney, and I take a refreshing and simplified approach to health. Together, we explore a world where well-being is not measured in pounds or calories. We live in a society that's obsessed with scales and numbers, and today I'm here to help you break free from the conventional norms. We dive into a realm of health that is about feeling good, nourishing your body, and embracing a balanced lifestyle without the need for constant counting, weighing, or portioning. Each week, we unravel the secrets to a healthier and happier life through health. It's time to shift the focus from the scale and into an incredible journey of self-discovery and well-being. So get ready to go off the scale with me today. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this live in our private Facebook group, The Energetic Way to the energetic way and empowered approach to women's health, excuse me, then I want you to comment #live. And if you're watching it on the replay, comment #replay. Let me know so that I can share more details, more information, more resources with you. It's my goal to connect with every single woman who listens to the podcast, whether it's live or on the replay, so that you can too overcome the confines of yo-yo dieting and fad dieting. These days, there are so many things to keep track of, right? If you're a parent like me, you're keeping track of the kids and the kids' schedules, or if you're a business owner, you're keeping track of your business and your the money coming in, the money going out, the people that you're hiring, the things that you're doing. If you are at work, you're focusing on all of the way that you're getting to work, you're coming home from work, you're tracking the progress that you're making at work. You might be tracking so many different things in your life. It's really overwhelming. So I like to reduce the amount of overwhelm in my life. I don't know about you, but I also don't want to continue to track the things that I'm eating, the amount of steps that I'm taking. And the reason that diets have made tracking a necessity is because they don't believe that you can listen to your body's signals. So a diet is meant to tell you a certain order of things or give you like a map or a way of being able to eat so that you can lose weight. So that seems like really good news for those of us who just want to lose weight. But for those of us who've been stuck in yo-yo dieting for years, then we need a different way. We need a way of listening and tuning into our bodies, because the old way of having something to count or something to weigh or something to portion has actually failed us. And we have turned to ourselves and thinking about ourselves as failures. We've been told that we aren't smart enough to know what's good for our bodies. And on top of it, that we need to be told on the outside of a package what is good for our bodies and what isn't. And the truth is that what you know to eat that's good for you can actually be felt. And I'm going to tell you how you can feel that today on our podcast. There's so much anxiety around what we eat. Do we go keto? Do we go paleo? Do I go whole foods based? Do I go vegan? Do I go vegan? Do I count calories? Do I count macros? Do I eat only fats? This is all terribly confusing. But what I want you guys to know, and what I want you to find relief in, is that you don't actually need to focus on any one thing. You need to focus on yourself. and on what's actually working for you. There's no body that's the same. And so you want to be able to listen to the things that are affecting you and that are bringing positive change in your body in the way that you feel, as opposed to really hyper focusing on these diets that, that are just here to guide you in only one direction. You are multifaceted with many different ways that you can feel, and simply tuning into those ways that you can feel is going to help you understand what you can eat. So if you're suffering from deciding what to eat and you're looking for your ideal food day, I am going to tell you exactly what you can focus on so that you can develop the ability to make conscious choices. This is what I teach my clients inside the energetic eating method, my signature program, how to make conscious choices from your heart and from your body and from your mind that actually nourish you, rather than following a set of rules that ultimately leads you to make choices that may deplete you, make you feel sick, make you feel resentful over the diet, make you feel resentful over your body or over the scale. So I want you guys to have a better belief system of understanding what foods nourish you and what foods don't nourish you. This system is of checking in with yourself about these 4 things is going to help you get to know your body more deeply and know exactly what to eat so that you can have lifelong health and weight loss as a result, if that's something that you're looking for. For those of you who want more interaction and you want more information than what I'm able to give you during this short podcast, I am doing a 3-day workshop called the Compassionate Weight Loss for Women Workshop. It's a 3-day interactive workshop on April 9th, 10th, and 11th, in which I'm going to help the registrants identify and overcome negative thoughts. So we're going to deal with mindset. We're going to overcome beliefs and behaviors around food and beliefs and behaviors around lifestyle changes that ultimately help you get unstuck from where you are. Everyone who enrolls in the workshop gets a complimentary 20-minute call with me to uncover their unique roadblocks and understand their patterns with dieting and weight loss and make a plan for moving forward. You get to book that call with me even before the workshop even begins, so that you can have you can be one step ahead even when we come and meet with each other in the workshop, and you'll be able to take sustainable action even after just this 3 days together. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link to registering for that workshop in the comments section of our private Facebook group, and the link will also be available on the YouTube channel in the show notes. Now, diets don't teach you to look at how to clear suffering. They only teach you how to clear weight. The suffering that we go through from years of yo-yo dieting and feeling like we're attached to a diet is always going to be there, even when you choose another diet. So the weight becomes the focus of the problem. And as I told you guys before, what you focus on grows. If you focus on weight, you will grow. You will continue to be stuck inside of those patterns of yo-yo dieting. You focus on the diet, you'll always be dieting. You focus on your weight, you'll always be worried about your weight. We want to get away from that by focusing on the things that are important to us. And I'm going to be going over that in the first day of the workshop on April 9th, on what we focus on with our thoughts and with making intentions in our life is actually what's going to help us make progress towards our goals. I want you guys to stop beating yourselves up for weight issues and focus on the parts of yourself that matter the most to you. What I'm going to share with you today is my favorite part of my signature program, the energetic eating method, where I help women lose weight with compassion for themselves rather than through self-loathing. What I'm going to teach you today are the 4 components, or the 4 things that you can feel that you want to have in balance so that you can have a healthy, long life with weight loss as a result, in a compassionate and loving way for yourself, for the most important parts of yourself that matter. Right? We don't want to wake up every day thinking about what we're losing on the scale, or whether or not our clothes are fitting, or whether or not we're going to have a good day based on how much we weigh. We want to think about how we're going to have the best day ever, because we're focusing on how we can bring strength and resilience and self-love and self-care to ourselves. And last night on the coaching call in the energetic eating method, we talked about the difference between compassionately choosing food for yourself and then actually choosing food for yourself in a way that feels really in an energy of self-loathing, right? The difference between hanging out on the couch and grabbing a pint of ice cream and just mindlessly eating it versus having a nice little cup of ice cream, sharing an experience with a partner or with your child or with a friend. One of those is compassionate and one of them isn't. The energy literally of those two things is totally different. One of them is going to lead you down a path of understanding yourself and feeling more connected to your food and knowing when to stop eating and knowing when you're full and how much is too much, and even whether or not you even want it in that moment. The other is going to lead you to self-loathing, is going to lead you to weight gain, is going to lead you to more behaviors like that, to cope with stress and to make you feel less than. So you definitely have a choice in any given moment what's going to actually serve you. And about 12 years ago, I was tracking my foods and my weight diligently. This type of behavior would lead me to eventually ending up on the couch with a pint of ice cream, saying, I don't care, saying, screw it, because I wasn't making choices in alignment with myself and the way that I wanted to be. It was only for what was happening on the scale. The system that I was using back then, it wasn't an app, it was a website. So this is quite a long time ago, but it had a pie chart that broke down the macronutrients that I was eating for every day. And I remember being nervous about how much yogurt I would put on my wrap and how many calories were in my wrap. Back then, Trader Joe's had these low calorie whole wheat wraps that I would eat. And I would always worry about how many points it would be or how much I could eat and how I could eat the least amount of points so I could have the most amount of ice cream later. And so I had this really broken relationship with food and with my body. And it wasn't about listening to myself. It was about the least amount of points to get the most amount of weight loss, which ultimately would lead me to making these unconscious choices that felt like I didn't even know myself. Like I would lose myself in the pint of ice cream. I would lose myself in the glasses of wine, or I would lose myself in a big bowl of popcorn in front of the TV. So that loss of myself was because of the investment in the diet and not in the investment in myself and the way that I was feeling. If I was checking in with how I was feeling sad, I was feeling a little depressed, I was feeling anxious, I was feeling overly full, I was feeling sick, I didn't have the right energy levels, and I certainly had a really challenging, unstable mood for most of my 20s as a result of this. I'd be tracking the points in my head or the calories in my head or the macros in my head. And then I would look at the measurements to see the breakdown in what I was eating. And again, that kind of thing, looking at the breakdown of what I'm eating instead of asking myself, how am I feeling, didn't create a relationship with food. It only created a relationship with pie charts and with graphs and with this sort of like data that was being spit back to me as if I was like some sort of a computer. But we are people. We are people with feelings. And the thing that we all have in common is that we all can describe how we feel in any given moment. We can describe the way that it feels when we eat too much. We can describe the way that it feels when we're in a bad mood or we're feeling sad or we're feeling depressed or we're lonely. Those are all things that we can feel in a human experience. And that's what I teach my clients to do, is to feel when those things are out of alignment, and how do we nourish ourselves to bring them into a place where we feel amazing so we can take action in this one life that we have here on earth. So I sent my body a lot of signals back then when I was dieting, and maybe you can relate to these. The first one was that my happiness depended on my weight loss. The second one was that I didn't know how to eat, so I have to track points, calories, and macronutrients. I literally didn't know how to eat for myself. And then the third thing was it didn't matter how much I ate or how I felt as long as the numbers told me I was okay. So my value was in the number, not in the way that I was feeling overall. People only know one way of doing things without getting a new result. Okay. And here's the thing that I want you guys to think about. If you just stop focusing on tracking your food and tracking your calories and tracking your macronutrients, what if understanding the foods and the way they made you feel worked instead? What if just understanding that worked instead? You certainly wouldn't have to bring up an app on your phone. You wouldn't have to track anything. You wouldn't be thinking about how much something is worth. You wouldn't be thinking about stepping on the scale and how much you're going to lose that day as a result, or if you were doing a good enough job. You'd go the whole day not having this attachment to systems with broken promises fueled by guilt, and instead you'd be investing in having a healthy body that's going to carry you through the world in an empowered way. I had a client that continued to track her foods when she saw me using a calorie counting app. I decided not to get in the way of that so that she could have the experience, as long as she came to me with the mindset that she would be tracking what she ate and not sharing the calorie content with me. Okay, so I wanted her to track just the foods, not the calorie content. I'm only interested in the foods themselves, and then the thoughts that she had about eating them, the feelings that she had, and the potential symptoms of imbalance in the body, or the things that we feel that make us feel off. And so when she came in, weight loss was, of course, one of her goals. But what she really wanted more than that, what she wanted to grow, was her ability to run faster. She came to me not just with weight loss concerns, but also with reflux issues that got in the way of her running faster. So for me, rather than looking at her app or her calories, I started to show her how the power of food could actually help her resolve her reflux issue. Now, if we resolve her reflux issue, she's more willing to go for a run because she's going to see that she's going to get results in her runs and she's going to be able to run faster. And as a result of running faster, she'll feel more confident. She'll make more conscious food choices, and then the weight will come off. Do you see how there's something different in there? Now, upon looking at her breakdown, I could have said, okay, you're eating too many calories, but that's not actually what was going on for her. There was a typical food that she was tracking that I saw that can cause reflux really easily, and maybe you're struggling with reflux too. And it was corn. She was eating a gluten-free diet, but she was also having corn-based food. Corn comes in many forms, but an intolerance to corn can usually lead to coughing and to reflux. So for those of you that don't know that are struggling with it and you're on a gluten-free diet, corn might be causing some of these issues for you that ultimately end up making you feel physically unwell, physically less than, like you can't exercise, that maybe you have some asthma tendencies, and you might want to look at something like corn. So this is a whole body approach that we're looking at that's going to help bring relief to the body that's experiencing it so that she can be okay. What's happening here is that if her goal is weight loss, she can track the foods and eat less and only have a handful, but her body is sending her a signal that something else is wrong. And perhaps if we can get to the bottom of that, reflux improves, running improves, quality of life improves, frustration is gone, and it's from a place of satisfaction that decreases inflammation. So when we look at the body as something that can have feelings, physical feelings, digestive issues, mood issues, focus or brain fog issues, energy level imbalance issues, then we can start to say, okay, what is it that's causing these issues? What foods or behaviors, right? Is it your sleep? Is it your lack of rest? Is it stress management? Is it the way that you wake up? Is it the foods? Is it inflammatory foods? Is it how much you're eating? Is it how little you're eating? All of these things are markers of whether or not what you're putting in your body are actually going to create results for you. It's not going to create results if you feel like crap. I don't care how many calories you're eating or not eating, as long as you're getting sufficient amount of nutrients. And in addition to that, you're not experiencing any symptoms of inflammation. We have to get inflammation down in order for the body to work for you. And these are the things that we listen to in order to be able to make it work for you. I work with women who've tried everything to lose weight and who have yo-yo dieted on crazy rigid plans to drop the conventional ideas of weight loss and instead embrace a whole body approach like this so they can nourish themselves with what their unique bodies need. All anyone wants is a proven plan. I have experience and I want to help you all. So on the second day of the Compassionate Weight Loss for Women workshop that I'm doing on April 9th, 10th, and 11th, so on the 10th, we will talk about compassionately fueling your body with the right foods that get you the results, you individually, the results that you want without counting, weighing, or tracking anything except for the way that you feel. So if you're experiencing any of these four things, you're experiencing an unstable mood or high anxiety, you're experiencing digestive issues like reflux or gas or bloating or constipation, you're experiencing brain fog or lack of focus, or you're experiencing plummeting energy levels, or you're tired when you wake up, these are the things that I want you to bring to the workshop so that I can help you individually with the issues that you might be dealing with and some of the things that you can do instead in order to feel better. Now, I can't address all of that on this podcast, which is why it's really important that you try to register for the workshop or you book a 20-minute call with me so I can help you get unstuck from where you might be feeling today with the physical things that are going on with your body. Now, there's a lot of different components. In the workshop, we'll be talking on day one all about the thoughts and the mindset part and what might be going on for you that's keeping you stuck in the yo-yo cycle. Why do you keep coming back to the diets? In the second day, we'll be talking about compassionate nutrition. In the third day, we're talking about compassionate lifestyle and exercise. What does that look like for you? Compassion meets you where you are, doesn't force you to go to a place where you are going to be resistant and ultimately end up coming back and repeating the same pattern. So come release those patterns with me. Come join me in the workshop. Let me help you over those powerful 3 days. It's completely free. And it's the way that I help all of my clients move through the barriers that they have to success. So again, I just want to repeat it. Guys can write these 4 markers of health down because I will be going over them in the workshop. And if you register for the workshop, you'll also get the replays. So even if you can't join us for those 3 days, or you can only join us for 1 or 2 of the days, you will get the replays. So I want you to remember to write these things down. Number 1, compassionately have thoughts about yourself and your body. We'll go over those thoughts in the workshop. Number 2, I want you to look out for these 4 markers of distress in the body: your mood, your digestion, your focus, and your energy levels. How are they today? On a scale of 1 to 10, how are each of those things? We'll go over in the workshop how you can tinker with them and what could be going on for you, what creates an imbalanced mood, an imbalanced digestion, imbalanced focus, and imbalanced energy levels. We'll go over the details of that. But the first step for any of us is just to assess for ourselves, how are those things? If I'm ignoring those things, I'm ignoring the most important parts of myself that could be resolved, that could be healed so that I can compassionately lose weight naturally. Okay. And then the third thing we'll be going over is compassionate lifestyle, which also has to do with those 4 markers of health success. And I'll be giving you guys exact tips on what you can tinker with your lifestyle so that you can compassionately love yourself through that. Okay. Simply sign up for the workshop if you haven't already. Get the replays of the workshop. You'll get even more details. And as far as all of these 4 markers of health success go, it's up to you to discover what it is that's going on for you, and then reach out for support from somebody who knows how to help you resolve some of these issues so that you can get to know yourself better and compassionately lose weight without focusing on the scale. That's the most important thing. So many women I talk to not only say that they have been yo-yo dieting, or they can't get rid of a certain amount of weight, up to 20 pounds, 30 pounds or so, but the biggest problem is that they look at themselves in the mirror every single day and they don't know how to love themselves through health. They just don't know how to do it. They're waiting for the end goal. Don't let that be you. Let's work on it together. Come to the workshop, and I'm happy to take you step by step through all of the things that I help my clients work through so that they can feel success and happy and healthy in their bodies. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today, for going on this process of self-discovery through health discovery. I so appreciate you for tuning into the podcast, and I want you to like, comment, or follow so that I know you guys are listening. And let's connect with each other so that I can bring you even more amazing information about the body and about taking care of yourself and loving yourself through health. I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll see you next time.